Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's JV game as the Lions take on the Paris Tigers. We apologize that we weren't able to get the stream up and running for the first minute of play, but we're here with 6 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Lions just took a quick 2-0 lead.
This was a nice pass down to Elijah Hall, who took the shot, was able to make it. It was a little off balance, but it was still able to go in. Nice shot from Elijah. As the Lions get a nice defensive stop on the other end of the court.
Lineup for the Lions tonight is O'Brien with the steal. John Bronner, the point guard, he tries to pass in, but Ryland wasn't cutting as far as he thought he was going to, so that doesn't result in anything. However, Ryland does come up with a turnover on the other end. He now dribbles down. Alongside Ryland and Bronner, there's Elijah Hall, Sean Holman, and then also Theo Carlisle. They're going to be the players out there for the Lions tonight.
And Elijah Hall, for the past few JV games, he's been a huge presence out there on the court, being able to get big offensive and defensive rebounds, put up points, and he's just a big presence on both ends of the floor for this Lions team.
Theo Carlisle struggling there to get a clean pass off, and then he fouls the player coming down the court. That's number 23, Hess, and so he's going to get to shoot his free throw. Score 2-2 right now.
The Lions did a good job in the first minute. Their offense was looking pretty smooth. Their defense was putting a lot of pressure on Paris, just heckling them, trying to get the ball away. They got it away, but right there on that possession, they kind of broke down. The Paris jumped on Theo. He struggled with it, did a sloppy pass, and it resulted in a turnover. And then he fouled the Paris player on the shot, and there we go. Again, the Ryland gets the ball stripped right away from him. Lions just got to control and keep the ball safe.
Nicholas Kellerman now picks up the coverage. He's going to go for the block, but he gets fouled on the way up.
And in the first quarter, this is the second time Paris has visited the free throw line. That's not too good for the Lions. They really need to be able to control their fouls. They don't want to put Paris in the bonus. The Lions already have 2 fouls, and both of them have given Paris an opportunity to put points on the board. However, they're only able to put 1 out of 4 shots in.
The Tigers are in a full court press, and the JV team has done a pretty good job this year up against full court presses, but I think they're going to need to tighten up their passing game as we see yet another turnover. However, Ryland's going to scoop it up. But like I was saying, they need to tighten up because against in their last game against Westville, they were able to get away with a lot of passes and also create a lot of turnovers on their own end. But I think that this team is a little bit sharper. Westville definitely was a great JV team.
But right there, Ryan Taw, beautiful pass into Elijah Hall, who was able to get it near the hoop. He was fouled on his shot, goes to the free throw line and knocks down his first shot. Nice play there by both Ryland and Elijah. Ryland, a couple of passes already in this game have been intercepted into the lane, but Elijah was able to collect it and sunk both his free throws, giving the Lions the lead.
The ball's kicked out now in the corner to King. And then Whitehead's going to end up intercepting the pass under the basket. It's going to go out of bounds, but he was at least able to stop Rhodes from getting it down low. Rhodes is much taller than Whitehead, so that probably wouldn't have ended well for the Lions if he had been able to get the ball. And then John Bronner is going to deflect that inbounds pass, so that's 2 quick stops that even though it's going to end up with Paris getting the ball, that at least keep them from scoring.
Yeah, definitely, and it's also going to make Paris be a lot more cautious on their passes, and they're going to have to slow down, and they know that the Lions are going to jump on everything that they can get. Great defensive plays there from the Lions.
The Lions have both Nicholas Kellerman and Elijah Hall in this game, the 2 big men, both playing at the same time. Against Westville in the last game, they were only either of them in it 1 at a time as Ryland sinks a 2.
That's Ryland's shot right there in the corner. Not a 3, just inside the arc, but he hits those, I would say, more often than he misses those. A great play, and then we get another defensive pickup as Kellerman swoops the ball up and hands it to Whitehead. Great defensive effort here by the Lions.
Elijah Hall's going to try a spin around jumper, but that was no good. He was off balance. But then the Lions are going to pick up a free play after King throws it out of bounds just right over the hands of his teammate.
And right back there, that was an unnecessary shot by Elijah. He was on his defender. He spun around, tried to do a fadeaway. He could have probably passed it, found a smarter option to do because that shot possibly could go in, but it's unlikely as the ball is stolen by Paris. Fadeaway, that's no good. Ball's rolling on the ground. Paris recovers it as they bring it back out to the top of the key.
The Lions really need to pick their heads up. There's a lot of plays that they're not knowing where the ball is. On that last play, we saw Kellerman down low. The ball was up in the air, and he wasn't quite sure where it was. And there's just a lot of other times where there have been passes and players not moving towards the ball, and so that's why there's just so many turnovers that we've seen already in this game.
And there have been a lot of bad passes where Paris, the Tigers, they were in the passing lane, ready to just jump onto the ball, and we made the pass, and it was just easily picked off. Just got to be able to correct that, and I think the Lions are playing decently well right now. Good defense. Ball movement's looking good right now. They've been able to get it into the paint a few times. As Bronner's trying to find something, gets it into the high post. Elijah Hall with a fancy pass. He has it back now on the corner. All the way over to the other end of the court to Ryland. The ball is tipped away by the Tigers.
Cross-court pass down to King. He almost dribbles out of bounds, but is able to keep it in bounds by passing it to Vitale. And now Ryland's going to come away with the steal. He's going to take it down the court. There's going to be an attempted charge taken by Rhodes, but I think that he just fell down way too early, and Ryland saw that and was able to elevate before he hit him, so nothing called there.
Great play there by Ryland. Took the entire court, got the steal, went the other way, laid it in. Nice layup. He was having a little bit of trouble with that a few games ago, but looks like he's been able to get that under control as the Lions come up with a defensive rebound with the ball now on offense. In the high post. Gets it to Bronner, but slips out of his fingers as Paris gets his hands, the Tigers get their hands on the ball, and it's a jump ball.
That's King again making his presence felt. He's showing up to be one of the better players on this team. I've already seen him a lot of times going in, taking shots, then being very aggressive. The Lions are going to have to watch him. And now another bad pass, this time on the inbound from Ryland. Underwood was open in the corner, but he held on to it, didn't shoot. He finds Langster. Offensive rebound by the Tigers, but Bronner, nice play right there. He swatted it out of the hands of the Tigers as they were dribbling down, and now that's going to force over and back, and the Lions are going to get the ball back. So that play right there, that was a pass over and back, so obviously it goes to the Lions, but that all started with Bronner just, as one of the Tigers was driving in, just sticking his hand out and swatting it down and making him lose control of his dribble.
Yes, there's been a great defensive effort there, or also with Elijah Hall down in the post, jumping on his defender, putting pressure on his face, and that pass that Bronner tipped was also caused by the great pressure from Elijah Hall. As Nicholas Kellerman is on the ground, he's called for the travel, and it's going to be the Tigers' ball.
The Lions are in their 2-3 zone defense that they've been playing for most of the season. That Ryland's going to get yet another steal. He takes it down the court. Left-handed finish is good. That was great vision. He looked to check and see where his defender was and then went the other way, and that just happened to be the left side, which is Ryland's favored side. He's left-handed.
As a foul is called on John Bronner, his first, team's third. Pushed his defender. So Paris is going to take another opportunity to put the ball into the hoop as a pass to the high post. Good pass and good finish by the Tigers.
Marco Cruz now inbounding for the Lions, and his pass is going to be just too far away to Bronner to get his hands on. And Paris is going to get the ball yet again. The Lions are still holding a lead. They're up 10-7. They've led this whole game. So they definitely haven't felt pressure, but a shot here would bring the Tigers within 1. Paris takes a long time to inbound it, but they get it in. It was only one member of their team that was moving around. Everyone else just kind of stood still. Now Bronner prevents the drive into the lane. The ball comes back out to the top. Elijah Hall right there just too slow to react to the quicker number 15, Staley.
That was a good play by Staley. He faked his drive into the hoop and then stepped back. He pushed his shoulders, so Elijah went down into the post, and he got a little bit of room and took a nice jumper, resulting in 2 points. The Lions going again for offense. The buzzer's going to ring for the end of the first quarter before the shot is going to get off. So we're going to be going into the second quarter. The Lions with the lead 10-9 right now. The Lions playing pretty well right now, both on offense and defense. They struggled a little bit in the first minute or two, but they've definitely picked it up, started to correct their mistakes, and Elijah Hall and Bronner right now doing a great job. Also, Ryan Ty's got a couple steals. He's got 2 steals and a breakaway, and 2 breakaways that resulted in 4 points for the Lions, and that's great to see from our junior, Ryan Ta.
And that last play from Staley illustrates something that the coach of the JV team, Father Carlisle, talks about all the time. He always says you really have to know your defender, because if you're a really good player and you make a really great fake and then you come back, but your defender is just way slower than you, that fake does nothing. And then at the same time, if you're slow and your defender is really quick, if you just make a slow move, you might be able to get your defender to jump off balance. So right there, Staley knew that he had the edge on Elijah, and he was able to drive in and pop back out. So that's something that the Lions really need to work on. It seems like a lot of the time they play all the defenders like they're the same. You can always pick out the better players on the court by the players who see the defender's weaknesses and pick that apart. But a lot of the younger guys, they'll go out there and just, whether the opponent's 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall, they just kind of do the same thing.
And as both teams come back onto the court for the beginning of the second quarter, it's going to be the Lions' ball. Got to keep up and improve their offense where they came from, as Andrew Six now in the game. Jumper is no good off the rim. It's going to be Tigers' ball.
King drives in. That was a wide open lane, and then no one came over to help. Even if the team leaves that open, someone's got to go over and help. There's a couple people down low in the post, but no one came over, and so that's just a giveaway basket to the Tigers.
The Lions are able to break the full court press there. Ryan, nice pass. However, that pass is going to be blocked going out of bounds. Elijah just did not see him. He came out of nowhere. Started from the free throw line and just got his hands on the ball before Elijah was able to get it off, but it was a nice pass by Rylands. As Ryan takes a seat on the bench.
Zick looking for someone to pass to. He couldn't find anyone. I was looking. I don't think that there was anyone he could have passed to there, so he just bounced it off the back of Langster,
who again his back is turned to Andrew, so he could do that again, and that pass is over the head of John Bronner. And it's going to be another turnover for the Lions. The Lions really need to start controlling these turnovers. They got to keep control. And I know the Tigers right now are playing good defense. They're jumping the passing lane. That just means the receiver for the pass needs to backdoor or move towards the ball so he can be open. That ball is going to bounce around the rim, and Paris is going to get an easy rebound. The Lions are just expecting it to go out of bounds.
That's 2 possessions where the Lions have just not even gone to rebound that one, and then Ryland's missed jumper. Ryland started to move back, but then no one else that was under the basket went to rebound. They were probably getting used to Ryland sinking those jumpers, but they still got a box out. Bronner's going to drive up now. He almost gets the ball taken away from him, but he doesn't. Elijah Hall, that was a good look right there.
Pass.
Elijah Hall drove in, and I was thinking he's going to take that shot because he's done that a lot this year. Just get the ball, and he has the momentum. He goes in to take it, but then he saw Sean Holman right there, and a beautiful dish off, a wide open layup, and that's 2 points for La Salette.
And Paris sweeps in, grabs the steal. However, Andrew gets his hands on the ball. It's going to still stay in the hands of the Tigers, and they're going to put a shot up for 2.
Lions are really playing sluggish out there. There was that first turnover, and then even when Sit could have gone for the ball, he just reached out one hand to try and pick it up via dribble instead of grabbing it with both hands.
And a bad pass there by Elijah Hall, but Elijah Hall playing very well tonight. Was conscious of where he was right there, and he jumped on the other side of the court so that he couldn't get any over and back called on him. A great play there, and then his pass, not a great pass. It was tipped by Nicholas Kellerman, it was a pass to Nicholas Kellerman, and it was tipped. But you can't make those passes in this game. Paris has been jumping the passing lane, tipping the pass, getting a lot of steals. You got to make more conservative passes.
And also, it's also going to be harder with the big man Kellerman moving down to try and thread a pass in. He's not a guard, so he can't move quite as fast as him or react to a bad pass. And now Bronner is going to foul Langster, as he goes up for a layup, and that's another and 1.
That's John Bronner's second foul, the team's 4th. And Salo Cruz is going to check into the game for John Bronner.
Just like that, the Tigers have taken a 5-point lead over the Lions, 17-12. And once again, there's another failure to box out, and that's going to result in another offensive rebound for the Lions off of the missed free throw. And then they get the ball down low to the paint, which was open, and Sean Holman's going to foul Langster going up for the shot, and Langster's going to get to shoot 2 free throws this time.
And that's the 3rd or 4th good pass on from the Tigers. This JV team just has really good vision for the Tigers. We've seen a couple good passes from the Lions, but the Lions really got to adjust their defense to match the vision of these players. They're able to find open players. They're able to shift the Lions' defense and then get a sharp, good, quick pass to a wide-open player, and he's either able to make it or get fouled on the shot.
And this is not the night for the Lions to be off on their passing defense, which it seems like they have been a little bit. But Elijah Hall is going to draw the foul there off of Blair. That's the Lions' 3rd foul.
And you can just definitely see how much the Lions JV team has improved since their first game. And I think a big part of that is just from 3 specific players, Elijah, John Bronner, and Ryan and Todd. They've both all improved a lot, and especially the whole team. They've put a lot of time in practicing. But those just 3 players are a big presence on the court. And that's great to see from this JV developmental team.
Cross-court pass to Marco Cruz. He's looking for someone. He does find Whitehead. A lot of the Lions' cross-court passes like that tend to lob a little bit higher than necessary. I know the Lions are trying to avoid getting it tipped, but sometimes it takes so long for the pass to get there that it kind of defeats the purpose of passing.
And Salo Cruz, he's going to draw the foul there. The first time he got trapped, I don't know how he got out of it. I guess he used his size for his advantage. He kind of ducked under the players, snuck through them, got trapped again, and was able to draw the foul, so it's going to be Lions baseline ball. Marker with it in the corner, drives up, spins around, thinks about the shot, doesn't take it. Dishes it to Kellerman in the high post. The Paris defense all over him. He's able to get the pass off, back to Marco. Ball's tipped away, and the Tigers are eventually going to come up with it.
King's going to go up and miss his layup. Solo did a great job not fouling him, but then Marco fouls Langster as he goes up for the shot. But that last play there from Kellerman, that was a huge, huge improvement that Kellerman has made over the course of the season. If that was the 2nd or 3rd game of the season when he got trapped like that, he would have turned it over, and we saw that a lot. But to see him able to keep his feet alive and keep moving and then even get the pass off too without getting a jump ball forced, that's a big, big play from Kellerman.
And he's starting to use his height for to his advantage. He's holding the ball above his head, and with his wingspan and his height, it's hard for a lot of players to reach up there. He's also gotten a lot better on defense, sticking his hands up, being able to get blocks in, and the big 3 from the Tigers there.
That was a bit of a lucky shot. It hit the backboard before it went in, and the fans started cheering, and Staley kind of hung his head and shook it, just like, that's not going to happen very often. But the 3 points still count. The score now 21-12. The Lions offense is stalled out, but Ryland's going to look to fix it as he heads to the free throw line.
And it's great to see that Ryland, he got pulled out for a quick breather. He comes back in, gets a good offensive play, gets down in the paint, and he's fouled, sinks his first free throw. 21-13 with 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first half. And that first one's not going to fall. And it's going to be Paris's ball. And Ryland jumps on it. The ball was loose off of Tiger's foot, and Ryland recovers it, gives it to Kellerman. Kellerman hands it off. Pass, another bad pass as Ryland saves it. I don't know how he saves it. However, it's going to go into the hands of Tigers off of the back of John Bronner. And the Lions eventually are going to come up with it after.
That was like 5 different players all touched it, but none of them ever secured it. And the fact that Ryland was able to keep that from going over and back, even though he threw it into the hands of one of the Tigers, he at least saved it. And then Nicholas Kellerman right there saves John Bronner's shot from going out of bounds. He tries to throw it in, but throws it to the Tigers. And then right there, it happens again with Ryland on the floor, but Bronner's pass is going to get picked off.
And this is very sad because the Lions are showing a tremendous amount of effort right now. Great basketball IQ plays. However, they just follow it up with a blunder, and it causes a turnover. The Lions just need to slow down there, secure the ball, hug it, but they do have to be careful because when they do that, Paris is trapping them, double teaming them. So they gotta, the off the ball players, they gotta come to the ball. They gotta get the ball, get themselves open so they don't get any traps. As the ball goes off of Paris's leg, Lions ball.
Right, Marco dribbled right in there, and he saw that he was dribbling into a double team, and I'm not sure if he was trying to bounce it off one of the Tigers' legs or if he tried to pass it and they just got in the way, but that's going to cause the possession to stay with the Lions. Whitehead takes a while to find someone. He was having trouble, but then he does find Marco. Bronner gets the ball stripped away again, but Ryland's there to recover it. I don't know how that wasn't a travel because he grabbed it and then slid around on the court. And the referee's going to signal the ball's going to stay with the Lions. I really didn't know who that was going to be. It was just a couple arms fighting for it, and then it went out of bounds.
And just a great effort from Ryland Ta. 2 plays, sliding on the ground as he gets the ball now, trying to get his defender off of him. Back to Whitehead, who's holding the ball, could have taken a dribble up, but doesn't. Gives it to Bronner now, who's going to take it past the 10-second line. Drives all the way in, gives it out, and Elijah Hall is going to secure it at high post. Quick pass back to Bronner. Nice way of knowing where he was going to be. Bronner didn't have to break stride to get it. And it's going to be tipped. Paris's ball all the way down to the other end. A little bit of a cherry pick. And it's going to be 2 points for Paris.
And even though the Lions' passing hasn't been great, I do like what I've seen with their pass choices. They've had much better vision than they've displayed in a lot of the earlier games, knowing where people are not taking shots that they shouldn't when you have someone else open. And it's just too bad that even though they have the right idea of where to pass, they keep on throwing weak passes or off-target passes that the Tigers are picking off.
But this is great to see from this team right now. These are mostly young players. There are no seniors on this team, so they definitely have another year of development. And it's already great to see how their pass choices, definitely the confidence of this team has gone up. You can see the chemistry between Elijah and John Bronner, just that pass back there. Elijah knew exactly where Bronner was going to be and connected with him for the pass. As another pass is picked off by Paris. And it's going to be another 2 points for the Paris Tigers.
And John Bronner has a very difficult job tonight because he keeps on getting almost to the half-court line, but then matching up against someone and having to throw really tough passes into his teammates and just keep getting them picked off. And that's the 3rd turnover and layup in a row from the Tigers without the Lions ever getting down to the opposite arc. And there's another turnover from Whitehead's pass. Langster was conscious of the clock, so he shot. However, that shot doesn't go in, but that's going to end the half. The score 31-13, so the Tigers took a huge lead off of the Lions' mistakes. Halftime came at a good time so that the Lions can get a break and mentally reset before the second half. So please stick around for that. That'll be starting in about 10 minutes. Welcome back. We're here waiting for the second half to start. Hopefully the Lions can recover. I'm sure that they were definitely focusing on their passing as they took that halftime break, just because it's been all over the place and there have been so many turnovers coming from the Lions passing, and they haven't even really gotten a chance to run their offense very much on account of that.
Even though the score is not in the Lions' favor, the Lions right now, both on offense and defense, they have been doing a good job getting the ball around, good movement, good vision. Paris has just been outplaying them on many plays, been able to being able to jump the passing lane, get the steal. There have been a lot of steals, 4 steals in the last possession in a row from the Lions. Paris is able to just pick it off and get 6 points from those 4 steals right in a row, and the tides might have turned as a good steal from Whitehead happens on the defensive side of the floor, as Bronner has it now in the corner, trying to make room for himself. There comes the double team, and there comes the steal. However, the ball's going to go out of bounds, and the Lions are going to be able to keep that.
And even with all the fouls that happened in off of those turnovers, King for the Tigers is 3 for 4 on his free throws, but then Langster, it seemed like, kept on going to the foul line with his multiple and ones. He only made 1 of his 4 free throws, so the Lions should keep that in mind, that number 3 King is definitely not the person to steal. And then Whitehead goes up for the block there, but is going to foul the Tigers player.
And that's 2 bad plays there from Whitehead. Whitehead was standing there on the offensive side of the floor. Lots of room with him and his defender, and he was just like, he didn't do anything. He was just standing there with the ball, trying to find someone to pass the ball to, and everyone just kind of sat back. His defender was just sitting back, going to jump the passing lane, which he eventually did. But Whitehead's got to do something. He's got to drive towards his defender, move his defender, dribble the ball, or do something. He can't just hold the ball, especially against this defense.
And Underwood misses both his free throws, but then Elijah Hall turns it right over. But Marco Cruz comes up with a steal. He's dribbling in traffic and is going to get fouled. So Marco's able to make up for Elijah's mistake. And the Lions here are finally going to get a chance to go through their offense. Whitehead receives the inbounds pass, and his pass almost gets picked off, but Marco picks up another foul, so he just drew 2 fouls in a row. This is a good play from him. And right now, if you look, the entire left side of the arc is open, and that might be something to think about, is that if the Lions on their inbounds plays are leaving that whole half of the court open, maybe they could switch it up, and one of the players that lines up at the top, instead of just motioning around and staying on the right side, could run all the way to the other side of the corner and maybe get a cross-court pass. As Marco gets another steal, Ryland tries to put up for 2, no good, and then Elijah goes for a putback instead of pulling down the rebound.
And that's 2 missed shots from the Lions right there in a row. They got to make those. Rylands was a little off balance before that. Also, Whitehead should have made his shot. Elijah tried to put it back, could have just come down with the rebound. The Lions need points right now, and looks like there's going to be a foul on the Lions. It's on Whitehead, team's second. Whitehead's second. That shot is going to bounce around, not go in, and Elijah Hall is going to secure the rebound and gives it to Bronner. Marco Cruz gets his defender off his feet. Nice pass into Elijah Hall. A fancy spin there by our redheaded big man, who puts it in for 2.
And Marco's definitely showed up in this second half. He's had several great plays, whether it's drawing the fouls, the turnover, or even right there, just the nice move and the dish off. And then Elijah Hall's going to come back on the other end and pull down that rebound. The Lions trying to claw back. It's 31-15 now.
Yeah, the Lions down by 16. Got to figure out something to do here, as the ball is again intercepted, ends up into in the hands of the Tigers. However, he's going to be out of bounds, so it's going to be Lions ball again.
Right, the Lions got lucky there. Marco had a great crossover, but then even though he was open after passing to Elijah, Elijah's back was turned. So the Lions were really lucky that that went off of the head of King, actually.
And Ryland with a great recovery there. Another steal by Paris. However, the Lions are going to be able to recover from it quickly as Ryland gets his hands on the ball, and he's going to be able to keep the ball for the Lions. And there's going to be a foul on the court. I believe it's on Elijah Hall. The ref's going to confirm that in a second.
Now Langster's going to take it up the court for Paris. Bronner picks him up. Elijah Hall, if you see him right now, backing down his man in the post. He's in front of him. He's in a great position, and he just looks menacing out there, not letting his guy get open at all. Great post work. And then right there, the trap from three of the Lions is able to force the Tigers to pick up their dribble, and then Marco picks up yet another turnover. He is going to step out of bounds, though.
It's a late whistle from the ref. I thought he had it. However, the ref is going to blow the whistle, and it's going to be called back. Lions doing better with their steals. They've still had a couple of turnovers, but they got to really get their steals under control. Nice dish off to the corner from the Tigers as Whitehead does a crazy jump maybe to distract his defender, but it doesn't, so he hits the three. With Elijah Hall down in the paint, gives it to John Bronner, high post shot. John Bronner not being able to connect with that shot. His shot's been off tonight. And another interception by Marco Cruz, and
he's going to step out again, but he still keeps on just taking the ball away from the Tigers.
And the Lions got to react faster. They got to get open. Maybe Marco could just tip the ball to them. They got to watch out for the Tigers defense, but I feel like everyone else on the team is just a second behind Marco.
Bronner tries to get the pass there. He jumps the passing lane, but he's not quite quick enough, so it's going to go past him. And now the Tigers are going to make another layup, so it's 36-15 in favor of Paris. The Lions have slowed down the Paris offense by a lot. That's only their 5th point in the first 4 minutes. And now Father Carlisle is going to take a timeout. I think that's the first timeout he's taken all game, actually. There hasn't been that many timeouts at all.
And John Bronner is about to get double trapped. Father Carlisle realized that. No one was going towards the ball. Bronner was stuck in the back court. Was going to get called for the 10-second foul, so Father Carlisle called the timeout, saving them a possession. The Lions, as you just said, have slowed down the offense. However, they really need to clean up their passing. Make a pass, or fake a pass, make a pass, as Coach always says. But Elijah Hall, he's come out strong. Ryan Taw, again, as usual, he's come out strong on defense. Been able to get a couple steals, recover sloppy passes from the Lions. So that's great to see. John Bronner, he just seems to be off tonight. His shots are just not falling. He's usually pretty accurate from the three-point line. He hasn't taken any threes, but the few jumpers that he's taken, he wasn't able to make those shots.
Now it is going to be the Lions ball coming in after that timeout was called by the Lions while they had the ball, and now John Bronner barely is able to rein in that pass, and then Marco's pass gets picked off.
But there again, you can see Ian Whitehead didn't come to the ball. He kind of sat passively waiting for the pass, and that resulted in another turnover. It wasn't a great pass by Marco, as Paris somehow saves that. Ryan, other end of the court, gets open. He's going to miss his layup, a little bit too soft. As the Tigers get the rebound, Ryan almost gets another steal.
And I know that it seems like a lot of the time La Salette jump stops and pump fakes where it seems like it's kind of unnecessary, but right there, that was the one time that you should jump stop and pump fake with 2 players in close pursuit. And right there, Ryland does pull up and keep from getting his shot blocked. However, Elijah, when he went to take his jumper there, he missed his shot. So the ball is going to go back to the Tigers.
And it looked like good footwork there. He just must have taken too many steps, but it was a nice move by Elijah. And then a great move by Rylands, showing his speed. If he had been a little bit closer to the hoop, he would have been able to get the shot off. He was just too far away. He got both his defenders off their feet. And there have been many times where both sides could have taken a charge, but there's one time when Paris attempted to take a charge. However, no contact was there, and they fell a little bit too early. But the Lions really got to start improvising on the floor, and when they see the Tigers dropping their shoulder to go in, they just got to plant their feet and take the charge.
A little bit of miscommunication there as Marco's pass goes right in between Sick and Whitehead. They both thought that it was going to the other guys, so they both pulled out. And one thing that I've been noticing a lot is that whenever some of the players for La Salette get the ball and they go to take a pass, even if they don't fake the pass, they still hesitate a little bit to look just to make sure that the coast is clear. But if they're able to throw on-target passes and throw it hard enough, then they shouldn't even really need to hesitate like that, because that just gives the defense that much more time to come and get it.
As Bronner almost gets the ball poked away from him, he's able to recover it and get it to Sick, who tries to get into the high post to Elijah, tipped away. He recovers it himself. Nice job by Andrew Sick from recovering that pass back in the high post. John Bronner recovers it again. Another tipped pass by Paris. In the corner, shot is no good. Rolls off the back of the rim. Marco Cruz with a good rebound. The ball's going to go out, and it's going to be Lions ball. Last touch by the Tigers. As Sean and Ben Blood come in for Whitehead and Elijah Hall.
Now Holman has it in the corner, and he gets it up to the top. Sick now has it at the wing. A nice bounce pass there, but Bennick Blood unable to reel it in. The drive in from Underwood is going to be no good, and the blocking foul will be picked up. That's Benedict Blood that was down low.
And we're seeing some great potential right now from the freshman, Marco Cruz. Great vision. He definitely has speed. We could definitely tell that from his cross-country season this year. And he has good vision, good hands. And he's only a freshman, and he's already a big help to this JV team this year. And this JV team is not too shabby, if I could say that. They've been able to win a lot of games, some tough games, and they've shown a lot of growth and potential throughout the season.
The offense now breaks the press and is able to move into position. Sean Holman posts up and is able to get the ball, and then he gets it to Marco Cruz, who sinks a two-pointer, nice and calm right before the buzzer sounds. So we get set now to go into the fourth quarter. The Lions are down by a whopping 22 points, 39-17. What started out as kind of an easy game quickly developed into what's going to be a long uphill climb as the Lions let the Tigers pull out to a big lead.
And the Lions, the result of this lopsided score is from just the countless turnovers on the Lions. This close is only 22 points because the Lions were able to come down on the defensive side of the court and be able to get steals themselves. They just weren't able to match the Tigers' defense. As the buzzer rings for both teams to come out, and as I was just talking about, Marco Cruz sinks the shot right before the third quarter ends. Great shot there from him. I'm guessing he knew how much time there was on the clock. Didn't see a good pass, so he decided to take the shot, and it nice shot from the high post elbow, and it was able to go in for two. Got to get the pass off to Bronner. Bronner, nice move there. Gives it to Marco. Marco gets his defense to move. Good play there. He's not able to connect the layup. The ball's tipped, and John Bronner comes out with him. Pass to Marco Cruz. Marco out the top of the key. Bronner pass into the post. Sean Holman spinning around. He's going to get tripped up, falls over, and he's called for the travel.
Sean Holman was really fighting there when he had the ball down the low post. He almost had it for 5 seconds, but he was able to get it away cleanly before that happened. Now Bronner and Sick come up to trap Hess at the top of the key. And then Benedict Blood with the tip pass. And Marco almost is able to grab it, but it's going to go off his hands out of bounds. Score is still 39-17, about a minute into the fourth quarter. Good coverage from the Lions, but King is just going to throw it all the way across the court to the other side. Sick is able to get the rebound after Benedict Blood was able to move up and tip it. Marco Cruz brings up the court, splits the defenders and drives in.
Great vision there. He kind of made the defense think he was going to pass it to Bronner, and they separated a little bit, and he took the hold. There's the vision that we're talking about from Marco Cruz. And there's going to be a foul on the Tigers. So it's going to be Lions ball.
That's King's third foul. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a little bit too late in the game for anything to come of that. He probably won't foul out, or even if he is going to foul out, it'll probably be late enough that it doesn't matter.
The ball being moved around. Andrew Sick gets it over to Marco. Marco gets it out to John Bronner, who takes it in. Almost gets it stolen. Andrew Sick for the three. That one's going to bounce around, not go in. Tigers with the rebounds. Quick passing, good ball movement from the Tigers in the corner, out way outside the perimeter. Andrew's trying to pick up a steal, and that's another freshman that shows potential. He has very good hands as he comes up with the steal. The ball's passed right to him, and Marco Cruz loses control of it. Tries to play a little bit of soccer there, gets his foot on it. However, the Tigers get the rebound. Spin around, fade away. That's no good. Another nice rebound from Sean Holman, and there's a foul on the floor as Peter Agbaperon and Salo Cruz come into the game.
Salo's going to inbound now. I'm not sure who's going to play point guard unless he takes it right back in off the inbound. He's looking for Peter Agbaperon to come to the middle. It takes him a while, but he does get there. Now Sick with it, driving in. He finds Salo at the top. So loses control of his dribble, but he picks it back up. Now Peter has it.
And down by the hoop, Sean Holman's got to watch for the moving screen. He was moving his feet a little bit while he was screening, and now ball's going to go off of the feet of Andrew Sick. That's another turnover on the Lions.
Toby McQuillan's getting set to come into the game. He checks in at the scorer's table. Three taken by Paris, rattles out, no good. Blair comes up with the rebound and gets a pass over to the corner. Another shot from Paris, another rebound for Paris. Sean Holman finally pokes the ball out to end that possession, but it's still going to be Paris ball. Martin Sherbley comes into the game alongside Toby McQuillan.
Lions got to keep up their defense here. The starters were able to get a lot of steals. Hopefully the subs can get this time of development in here and be able to play some strong defense against this good offensive Paris team. And there we go. Ben Blood gets his fingers on the ball. It's a turnover. However, it's going to stay with the Lions. As Paris is slowing down a little bit, moving the ball around. Their passes are a little bit more sloppy, so the Lions really got to take advantage of that. Nice double team there by the Lions defense. Salette's moving his feet, trying to get the steal, and Andrew Sick comes up with it, spins, left-handed layup, good for two. I thought that was going to be a little bit too hard, but he puts just the right amount of pressure and rolls off his fingers in for two with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the basketball game as the Tigers split the defense, get in. However, the shot is missed, and
Martin Schoberly comes up with that rebound. It's all subs in the game for the Lions.
Andrew Sick, you could say the most experienced player out there who had the good steal.
Toby dribbles behind his back, gets 6 defender to fly through, and that creates an open passing lane to Salo, but Salo's unable to finish his layup as he drives through. And now Peter Agbaparone comes back onto the court for Toby. Andrew Sick finds Salo on the inbounds pass. The Lions down by 20 right now, 39-19. Salo dribbling around looking for someone. The Paris defense is mostly holding sound. Andrew Sick does get a bounce pass into Martin Schoberly. But still, there's just, even watching from up here where you get to see the full court, it just does not look like there's many openings for the Lions, and a lot of that comes from just inexperience with these players playing together. There's a lot of times where 2 players move to the same spot, and so then they take away their space from each other. Andrew Sick has an open 3. He gets his defender way off balance, dribbles in, and makes his jumper.
Great play there by Andrew Sick. I was just listening to what you were saying, and the Lions, yes, they're little unorganized out there. You can definitely tell it's a newer team. They're running into each other, but they're playing good. They're playing a good ball game. They're able to get the ball around. They were able to control the ball, which the offense for the starters found a hard time doing, even though these aren't all the starters for Paris. But they were able to control the ball, move the ball around. Andrew had a great play, was able to put 2 points in, and I think that right there, that's a victory for the subs in this JV game. However, they're going to get a turnover right there. I don't know if I jinxed that by saying they were able to control the ball, but back on defense maybe for the last time with just 1 minute 14 seconds left in this game. However, with the steals in this game, you never can tell as that 3 rattles around, does not fall, spin around from the post player. Again, the ball rattles around with another offensive rebound for the Tigers. Euro step, left-handed hooker, and that's in for 2.
Salo bringing up the court now. Peter actually moved up a little bit quicker and was open, but there was not much that Salo was going to be able to do to get past him. And then Salo right there tries to dribble aggressively, but almost loses it back across half court. And then his pass to Martin Schoberly is going to end up getting grabbed and moved out of bounds by the Tigers. Salo gets into Schoberly. Half a minute left in the game. The Lions are going to try and score one more time.
Peter Agbaparone, he puts the ball on the floor. That's good to see. You know, it does take confidence to be able to take a couple dribbles, and that shot's going to be blocked. 15 seconds left, and the Lions are going to get another opportunity at defense. That's team's 5th foul.
The Tigers just set to pass it around the outside to wind down the last couple seconds of the clock. And now the buzzer sounds, and that's going to do it. Final score, Paris Tigers 41, Lions JV 21. So a disappointing finish. The Lions came out strong out of the gate, but then their passing really just killed them as they went on, so they'll definitely have to work on that.
And even though the Lions weren't able to come up with the victory, it is a good ball game for this JV team. The Tigers' defense was a very good defense, able to pick a lot of the passes off, steal them. But the Lions overall played a good offense, made a couple mistakes, but I was at least happy from what I saw from this offense and defense of this JV team.
And the Lions varsity team's going to be playing in, it's scheduled for a half hour, but it might start early. You are going to want to tune in because the La Salette student body has the privilege tonight of singing the national anthem before the start of this game, so be sure to tune in early and catch that. But until then, I'm Kevin Quigley with Michael McCarr. Thanks for watching.